Once you're in the Hornphoto online ordering application, the first thing you need to do is select the product category from which you would like to order. In this tutorial, I'll be ordering from the standard Luster Prints catalog, but all the product categories basically work the same, so if any time you would like to order glossy, metallic, or large prints, everything you learn from this tutorial will apply to those catalogs as well. Having said that, let's see what's in the standard Luster Prints catalog. The first tab I'd like to bring your attention to is the Sizes tab. This is where you choose the size of print you'd like to order. Being the most popular size by far, you can see that 4x6s are right at the top of the list. But all the standard print sizes from wallets and 3.5x5s through 12x18s and 12x36s are here. If you're interested in larger prints, like 16x20s or 24x36s, those will be in the large size catalogs, and I'll hop over there real quick so you can see what I mean. So here's a 16x20, and scrolling down the list, you can see that we can even make 30x40 inch prints. And I should mention that all the prints you order from this system are photographic prints made exclusively with Kodak paper and chemistry. Now I'll head back over to the standard Luster Prints catalog and show you how to bring in images from your computer. I already know in advance that I want to order some 4x6 prints, so I'll go ahead and select that as a size first. Now I'll head over to the Images tab on the other side of the application and click on the green button to add images to my order. Now the application is asking for a folder of images. I'm not selecting individual images yet, I'm selecting a folder that contains images I want to order. And you know, I have some older pictures from Yellowstone that I never got around to printing, so I'll think I'll go ahead and see if I have anything from that folder I might want to print. After I've found the folder, I'll go ahead and click on the Open button. Now I have a bunch of thumbnails in my Images tab. Awesome. But what if I want to order prints from a different folder in addition? Easy. I'll just click on the Add Images button below and find another folder. Click on Open once more. And there they are. Now that I have all the images loaded into my Images tab, let's take a closer look at what we have. Right now though, the thumbnails are kinda small, but we can fix that in one of two ways. Right next to the Add Images button we used a moment ago, there's a slider that we can use to increase or decrease the size of our thumbnails. Alternatively, at the top of the Images tab, there is a button that will expand the Images tab to cover the whole application window. And even in this size, we still have the thumbnail size slider available. Previewing your thumbnails this way is a good way to take a closer look at what you have. There are also controls available to rotate your images if necessary. When you're done here, click on the arrow button at the top of the application to go back to the default view. Okay, now that we have all the images for our order loaded, let's start to order some prints. I definitely want a print of this image right here, so I'm just going to click and drag it into the 4x6 canvas in the middle of the screen. And note how the image is automatically rotated here. If I click on the main image canvas, a toolbar comes up which has a few controls. The slider in the middle allows you to zoom in and zoom out of the image. And if I've decided to zoom in, I can click and drag on the image to reposition it on the canvas. Be careful about doing this though, because with most images, if you zoom in too much, they can tend to print a little blurry or grainy. I don't think this image needs any cropping or zooming, so I'll just order it as is. This next part is really important. Once you have settled on your crop, click the Add to Cart button below. If you forget to do this before moving on to the next image, like I always do, this image won't make it to the shopping cart and will never be printed. After I've clicked Add to Cart, I can switch over to the shopping cart view to confirm that it's there. And sure enough, there it is, one 4x6. I'll go ahead and switch back over to the Build Order view now. Okay, so back on the build order screen, also notice too that on the image that I dragged and dropped earlier, the thumbnail now has a shopping cart icon above it. That's another way of confirming that this image is definitely a part of the active order. So ordering a single print is pretty simple, but you might be thinking to yourself, gosh, if I have 50 images I want to order, this could take a while. Definitely. If you click and drag one image at a time, you could be here all day. So here's a little trick that can help you save loads of time. I know that I definitely want to make two 4x6s of every image from my California Images set. Here's how to do that. First, I'll click in the quantity box and change the value from 1 to 2. Now back over in the Images tab, I'll scroll down to find the second group of images I added earlier. Now here's a fancy part that requires both the mouse and the keyboard working together. I'm going to click once on the first image in the range that I want to select. Now I'm going to scroll down all the way so that I can see the last image in the range I want to select. Now I'm going to hold down the Shift key on my keyboard and then click once on the last image I want to select. See how they're all highlighted in blue now? That means that those images are a part of my current selection. Now all I have to do is drag and drop them onto the 4x6 canvas, just like I did with the single image selection earlier. Only this time, I'm going to get a prompt that asks me to confirm what I'm doing. I'm going to accept this by clicking on Yes, and, as if by magic, every single image I had selected is now going to be in my shopping cart with the quantity set to 2. There's the one 4x6 from earlier, and then here's two 4x6s of each image that I had selected in that range. Pretty cool, huh? Alright, let's go back over to the build order screen. Alright, that takes care of the 4x6s that I want. Now I want to order an 11x14 of one of my Yellowstone images. So in order to do that, I need to select the 11x14 product from the Sizes tab. Now I'll drag and drop the image I want to order as an 11x14. Now there are a couple of things here that I'm noticing. The first and most obvious thing is this white strip below my image. Don't worry about that. We print 11x14s on 12-inch paper, so that white strip is just extra paper that will trim off after the image is printed. You'll end up with a print that is exactly 11x14 inches, I promise. Second, if you look closely at the thumbnail versus the image canvas, you can see that part of the image will be cut off in the print. I'll go ahead and zoom in on the thumbnail so you can see that a little bit more closely. Now, in order to get the right area printed that I want, I can click and drag on the image to position it on the image canvas. Incidentally, this is happening because the dimensions of the image are not exactly 11x14, so some of the image will have to be cropped off. But what if you want the whole image printed? Well, the little button on the control bar I ignored before will let us do that. This is the Crop to Fit button. It will automatically resize the image on the canvas so that the entire image gets printed. But note that there will now be white borders on the top and bottom of the image. It is a trade-off. You either have to crop the image or have the entire image printed with borders. For this image, I don't think a little cropping hurts, but I'll go ahead and reposition the image to get the composition that I like better. And finally, don't forget to click Add to Cart. Now that I've added all of the images with their print sizes, crops, and quantities specified, I'm going to click back into the shopping cart view. Here you'll notice various controls such as Edit Item, in case you want to change the crop or take another look at the way the image was positioned on the canvas. Remove Item, in case you've changed your mind about having that particular image printed. And finally, a print quantity box, in case you missed that on the build order screen. It's always a good idea to scroll through your shopping cart just to make sure that everything is the way you want it. Now this screen also has a very important box in the Options tab, Special Instructions. This is an opportunity for you to type a specific message to our lab staff, letting them know if you want your order printed in a specific way. We color correct every single image that comes through our lab unless asked otherwise. So if you don't want us to touch your images, please let us know here by clicking the checkbox and typing in your message. Here I'm going to let our lab staff know not to actually print this order because I'm just doing it as a demo for this video. Okay, so once you've typed in your message, all you need to do is click on the green button that says Checkout. So here there are 3 steps: shipping options, payment options with contact information, and submit options. Everything here is pretty self-explanatory. Note that if I choose credit card as a payment option, the contact information box changes significantly in order to accept the additional information necessary. Now there's all my contact information. Make sure to be as accurate as possible here. You will be emailed a confirmation upon our receiving and processing of your order, and that email will be sent to the email address with which you have provided us. Your order will be filed under your last name, and we definitely don't want to misfile it. For the vast majority of the time, you'll choose the first option in the 3rd step, Send Now. Saved for sending later via the internet will allow you to schedule the time at which your computer will transfer the order to us. Save to disk for alternate delivery can come in handy if your internet connection is down. You can save the file that our online ordering application generates and bring it to us on a flash drive or burn to CD, and we can enter it into the system that way. When all is said and done, click on Place Order. Oops, I forgot to select the shipping method. Even though I'm not having the order shipped, the system wants to know what method with which we'll be delivering the order to you. So I'm going to go ahead and select Pickup at Lab, which of course is free. Now I'll try to click on Place Order again. Now I see a dialog box saying Completing Order for Transfer. Your order is being sent. Now this is really important. Don't close the application until the order has uploaded. I have 119 megabytes to transfer, and if I close the application before the order transfers, then we won't receive the order, and it'll never be printed, you'll never be emailed, and you'll never be called because we will have never received the order. So just be patient and make sure that the order finishes transferring before you close the application. It is okay, of course, to minimize the window so that you can continue multitasking and working with your computer. But again, just make sure that you don't close the application. And that just about does it for this tutorial. Remember that we'll be emailing you once your order has been received and completed, and that all orders are generally done within 24 hours. Also, please feel free to bookmark our website, and don't forget about our Facebook page, which you can find at www.facebook.com/hornphoto. Click like to stay in the know. Thanks again for watching, and good luck capturing all those great images for printing.